she's sexy.
And so it begins. And so it begins.
Hey, welcome to a review special Monday episode.
Extra.
Today we teased on Thursday's ep what we were doing today for its vague connection to a theme from Falling Down, where a man kind of loses his shit and goes on like his whole like vigilante type spree.
Yeah.
We're doing a movie called Noise.
Yeah, we did.
A movie that probably no one's ever heard of but me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I never see anything ever.
Yeah.
Which made this all the weirder.
Yeah.
You know what's even weirder?
What?
I know I own this movie, and I couldn't find it for shit, so I had to rent it. It drove me crazy. I couldn't fucking find it. I think I sold it at a garage sale like this last summer. That's what happened.
That poor person. But so here's the whole story that leads to this. So just off a whim, I messaged Troy saying, "Hey, do you have any ideas for our possible Monday episode?" And he said, "I've got this movie called Noise that I bought from the Piggly Wiggly like discount thing or whatever."
Yeah, when they used to sell movies.
When they used to sell movies, I bought it. We should do this. And then I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. I've never heard of it. And Troy rarely gives me suggestions. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of intrigued. I kind of want to check this out.
Uh-huh.
But even then, I still gave you some outs where I'm like, hey, I kind of want to see this Michael Douglas movie called The Game by David Fincher.
Uh-huh.
That's for free on Netflix. We could check that out.
Uh-huh.
You brought up possibly doing Taxi Driver for a flashback. That was a good idea. I was like, we could do that.
Yep.
You were still adamant. You were like, hey, I found this on Amazon for $3. And I'm like, Troy's really adamant about this Noise movie. It must be really good. Okay, I'll give it. No, this from my mindset. I'm not saying that you thought it was good. I'm just saying like, because it like all the things I was pitching, you were kind of leading back to doing Noise, where I'm like, this must be good. Okay, I'm on board then. I'll flush every other option to the other side. We'll
down
do
the
Noise.
Toilet.
Yep, flush them down toilet. We're doing Noise. We'll do Noise. And then I watched Noise. Troy?
Yes.
Do you have any facts on Noise?
You bet I do, JT. Debuting October 22nd, 2007 at the Rome Film Festival.
And oh my God, those poor Romans.
But not debuting until May 9th, 2008 in a limited release to the United States of America. I could not find its budget at all.
Yeah.
But I found out domestically it made $16,513. Worldwide,
Yeah.
made $16,934, meaning it only made $421 overseas. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 57%.
Yeah.
IMDb has a 6.2 out of 10.
Okay.
Metacritic has it at a 55%.
What was Metacritic for Falling Down?
56%.
Okay, so better.
By 1%. And this this is our bullshit stats, but they're real stats. They're just funny to me. It ranked 13,743 in all-time domestic gross box office. And ranked 495th in domestic gross in 2008 movies. The funny thing is, there's only 607 movies that came out in 2008.
Oh my God.
And this ranked almost 500.
Jesus.
So, there you go. So, I can see why maybe nobody has heard of it.
You think?
All in all, I don't know what drew me to this movie whatsoever.
I don't know what drew you to this movie.
I think what I want to say is at the time, I used to work at Piggly Wiggly, and I used to work the customer service desk a lot. So I also dealt with the movie rental thing that they had going on there.
Yeah.
And I was watching way more movies then than I am now.
Yeah.
I would take home anything that came in new.
Yeah.
And on their discount bins, I would just be like, yeah, that looks fine. And I would pick it up because they were like $4 or something like that.
Oh, I would do that too. At the when I used to work at a grocery store, if I was closing and then opening the next day, I would just grab a movie that I wanted to see and then just not pay for it because I knew I would come in before my boss and just put it back before anything was really moved aside.
So, like, I look at this cover. I've never seen it. It's got Tim Robbins on it. So I'm like, okay, he's a pretty high-profile actor.
Yeah.
It's got William Hurt in it.
Yeah, he's always good.
He's got one of the Baldwins.
Yeah,
William,
one of them.
Not the worst one.
Yeah. Who's the worst one? Steven?
Oh, definitely Steven. It's 100% Steven. So I'm like, I'm going to give this a shot. And I watched it back then, and I was like, you know what? That was interesting. I kind of like the premise of it. That's the only reason I remember it at all, because I kept saying in our group chat, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember this movie hardly at all. Anything you'd come up to me and say, I'd be like, it was 8 years ago. That's my only defense.
I even dropped a line from the movie where you were like, all you said was, Joel, 8 years.
So I really had nothing to go on besides the vague premise of the movie, which is what, JT?
Okay, I guess I'll do it. Since I made you do Falling Down, I guess this is only fitting. We follow a man named David Owen, who lives in the heart of New York City, who is being driven crazy by just noises in general.
Right.
Just does not like noise. In particular, car alarms.
Right.
So he takes it upon himself to rid the city of this nuisance of car alarms by becoming a vigilante called the Rectifier.
Right.
And in the process, meets women and leads him to getting rid of the car alarm problem altogether. That's pretty much
that's it.
Pretty much
That's it. That's the movie.
Yeah.
So
Troy.
Yes.
8 years removed from this movie, what did you think of it?
I still don't find it that bad.
Okay.
It's definitely not the best movie I've ever seen. But I hold true to my original opinion. I like the premise of it. I can get behind the protagonist in his quest for an inner peace. I think he goes a little over the top with it.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it at the end of the day.
Okay.
My final grade will come at the end of the review.
Yeah.
But I am so curious on what you think of this movie.
Well, Troy, you may be surprised, but I fucking hated this fucking movie.
I knew it.
I couldn't fucking stand this movie at all. Yeah. It is so fucking bad. So, the one fact they have on IMDb about this is that the writer and director, Henry Bean, wrote this based on the fact that he did this once, where a car alarm drove him crazy, so he fucking destroyed the car and went to jail for it.
Yeah.
So, based on that fact, this whole fucking movie is a big jerk-off session for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
This is watching a dude fucking talk about how fucking cool he is for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it made my fucking skin crawl. This guy, if I ever see this guy in person, I'm gonna beat the fucking shit out of him. Cause this guy, just based on what he wrote, how he directed all the characters to act, he is the most smug piece of shit person I can ever picture. Everyone in this fucking movie is just fucking jizzing over the embodiment of him, which is fucking
the rectifier.
Tim Robbins. Yeah. And they are just fucking eating up all of his words, even though they're complete bullshit, and at some points the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard in my entire life. It is so fucking stupid. Everything this movie does is just to appease this fucking idiot who thinks he's the smartest person in the room.
Yes, I agree with that fact. Everyone except his wife. But even his wife
in the end, his wife, in the end, it's just like his wife realizes how stupid she was for not agreeing with him in the very beginning.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing is, though, I can sympathize with his point that, like, and they even make, maybe this doesn't help my case to win you over at all.
Yeah.
But they make a point even in the beginning of the movie that's saying, like, car alarms do nothing. Like, it's proven that, like, they annoy people more than alert people that their car's being stolen.
Yeah.
And they go on to all this stuff. And so, like, these just annoyances that do nothing are driving this man crazy. Even though, like, he lives in New York City, I feel like that was, like, the big point of, like, if you don't like it, like, obviously New York is going to be loud.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one point I couldn't get over.
And they don't even just hone in on just car alarms. Like, every noise drives him crazy.
Yeah, like garbage trucks.
He just, for some reason, hones...
vehicles backing up.
Okay, we'll get into that later, but, like, even, like, he just hones in on car alarms, but everything drives him crazy.
Yeah. He is obsessive about, like, any loud, disturbing noise at all. Even though, at some points, there's, like, they can't help but being loud. Like, they're loud machines.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they have to be.
And these cars are not, like, people don't go to fucking car dealers and then maniacally, like, put their fingers together and be like, put a car alarm in it. Mm-hmm. These are put in the cars. It's not the person's fault. It's not the person's fault their car alarm goes off.
Right.
And he does shit to these cars that doesn't turn the car alarm off. Mm-hmm. He'll just vandalize the car.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, he's straight up just vandalizing the car.
Not even at the end. The first thing he does before he starts turning the car alarms off is he slashes their tires. How does that turn the car alarm off?
Right. I mean, I guess it's like to... I understand what you're saying.
Who is learning a lesson getting their tires slashed when someone bumps into their car and makes their alarm go off?
I kind of forgot about that point. But, like, I can get behind, like, him... But, like, at the same point, like, if somebody's car's going off, like, just stop it. Go out and, like, fucking turn it off. But so I can get behind the point where it's like, if nobody's doing anything about this, he smashes in their window, pops their hood, and then cuts the line to their fucking horn or whatever.
No, he cuts the battery line.
No, whatever, to their fucking horn or whatever. But, like...
No, the battery line, you can't start your car.
Well, what? I don't give a shit. I don't give a
I
point
wouldn't give a shit if someone bumped into my car and then fucking made the alarm go off and then some fuckhead walks down the street, vandalizes my car, and then makes it so I can't make it run, so I have to get it towed for thousands of dollars. Fuck that guy.
Regardless of what you think, he not only goes over a car alarm, but like just annoying noises that are going on, like alarms going off for no reason, like on buildings. So like smash those things down, and like an intercom that's not working. That's just like buzzing inconsistently, but like he'll just smash it with a hammer. So it's like things like that are just like disturbing the peace that he just can't have anything. But like people are getting behind. Granted, like people are written to be behind him in this movie, but like I could get behind that because I fucking enjoy my peace and quiet.
Yeah,
but like even to the point where he goes to like his brother's getaway home in the country, and people are using like a leaf blower instead of like just raking up the leaves or whatever it is.
But if you buy a leaf blower, it's because it's fucking easier to do that shit.
If you use a leaf blower, I don't think it's any easier.
If you want if you want to fucking rake, then you rake my fucking leaves. This motherfucker is like, it's in the middle of the fucking day. This guy has more than enough right to use a leaf blower if he wants to. He bought the fucking leaf blower. It's on his own property.
Yeah.
And then this fucking dickhead that you've not seen do a single lick of fucking work in the whole fucking movie goes
he went to his job once.
His job? What is his fucking job? Sit in a fucking office and bitch.
Job is.
He walks across and is like, can you just use a fucking rake? After this dude bought a leaf blower because it's this who knows, this motherfucker probably has back problems or some shit. There's a reason he's using a leaf blower. And then you get this pompous dickhead who's like, I can't read my novel. Can you stop working? Stop doing something to maintain your yard so I can read my fucking book? I'm a pompous piece of shit. Tim Robbins in this movie, I never wanted a protagonist to die so much in a fucking movie. Everything he does is so pompous, and everything that he does makes everyone fucking love him that much more. I'm like, what world are we living in that this pompous fuckhead is doing jack shit for work, bitching about fucking sound, so he vandalizes people's private property, and then everyone is like jerking him off over it. He's a fucking criminal that's a piece of shit.
I like how you get worked up over Tim Robbins, but when we did the falling down thing, you were perfectly fine with Michael Douglas like shooting up like a public area.
No, but it's the way it's framed. So in Falling Down, they frame it in a way where it's like this guy has some issues. He's going above and beyond what he should be doing. In this, everything this motherfucker does is justified. And it's fucking stupid. Even like the arguments that they make for it's like, he's such a fucking hero. The arguments they make, they just fucking cut it off because they realize that it's fucking stupid. Like, there's even like a scene in this where like the cops come and like arrest him. And then some fucking protester comes up. And they're like, why are you arresting him? And meanwhile, people from Enron are getting away with fucking all this shit. Yeah. Where it's like, that's a total fucking Trumpism. Like, Trump does that shit all the fucking time. Where it's like, that doesn't take away from the fact he's still a fucking criminal.
Yeah.
They're both fucking wrong. Just because this guy's wrong too doesn't mean you're fucking right. But he throws that shit in there because, like, I'm so fucking smart. Look at me. These cops are going out and arresting people that are vandalizing cars, but yet they're not arresting fucking big business people. You're both wrong. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I didn't like that lady in the movie so much because she's like even gets crazy at the end because she's like, hey, you want to blow up this bridge?
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah, that's when they're like, it's like, oh, see, look, he's not that bad. He's not letting this act like there's a crazy activist chick like completely control him. Where I'm like, no, he's still a fucking asshole.
Okay, so like, you're not gonna convince me that I didn't like this movie.
All right.
You can dislike it all you want, but I thought the movie was just fine. Though there is one scene though where it did take me out of the movie, and it's the look at my pussy scene.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that, or do you have any notes on that whatsoever?
Well, no. Do you want to talk about like what leads up to that, where it's like chicks are so about his fucking cause that they're like having threesomes with him?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So that happens. That's the part where I was like, this is completely unbelievable because first of all, it's Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
And these are
there's a reason
very attractive women.
There's a reason why this guy cast Tim Robbins because I'm pretty sure he's probably portly in real life. So he's just like, look at Tim Robbins.
Does not portly. He just does not have like a stunning physique.
Yeah, he's just like, but like I can totally see like this fucking writer just being like, I'm gonna cast Tim Robbins because he kind of looks like me, and all these fucking chicks just want to fuck him all the fucking time because he's so fucking smart. Even though I wrote the dumbest fucking lines you can ever say. Ugh.
I'm trying to find a picture of this Henry Bean guy.
And Tim Robbins' character does some shit in like casual conversation that makes me fucking furious when people do it to me in conversations, where he'll take shit and he'll say it. Yeah, sure. He could be a Tim Robbins type. He looks like a smug jackass. But like he'll take words that are used in certain contexts, but he'll use them in another context. And then when people are like, I didn't mean it like that, he's like, well, I didn't mean it like that. It could mean this. Like he does that like multiple times in this. Like there's like a scene where like he said that he's like he feels impotent. Mm-hmm. Like it's him and his wife are having this conversation, and he's talking about like why he does all this shit where he's fucking vandalizing these cars and like cutting their alarms shit like that. And he's like, I've been feeling impotent. And she's like, well, no, you're not impotent. I mean, we had sex. And he's like, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like impotent can mean more than just that. Where it's like, what the fuck does impotent usually mean, jackass? It usually means you can't fuck properly.
Right.
But then he gets all fucking butthurt because he's like, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like this. Where I'm like, I want to fucking strangle you through this fucking TV. He does the same thing when he calls a fucking 7-year-old sexy.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's like, oh yeah, she's sexy for a 7-year-old, and she's like, that's gross. Like, sexy can mean more than just wanting to have sex with them. Jesus Christ, get out of your fucking head. We're like, sexy usually means you want to fuck them.
But do you think the dad was that sexy?
Jesus Christ. But no, he just. But he does that shit so much in the movie where it's like, I'm gonna make myself seem really smart by using this word, and then when they react to how I used it, I'm going to say, I meant it like this, actually, and then accost them for being so fucking dumb.
But if there was one actor that could pull that off, I feel like it is Tim Robbins.
I
feel like he's the type.
It doesn't make me want to fucking kill him even more or less. He's just, it's so pompous throughout this whole fucking movie. I couldn't fucking stand him. And like, granted, yeah, noise pollution can be a thing. But is it really that bad considering, like, how bad, like, maybe crime is in New York? Or other things? Like, he fucking puts to the forefront, like, everyone should focus on car alarms going off. Not the fact that maybe, like, people are being murdered or anything. It's just, no. You have to worry about maybe something that might wake you up at like 10 o'clock that'll go off in 3 minutes.
So like, rather than like find other reasons why I disagree with this movie, like not just this movie, but other movies too, I just let it take me for the ride that it's trying to give me.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't ever think about all that side stuff, and I'm not saying you are wrong at all for thinking any of those, because, like, yeah, those are way more obvious, like, of real problems. But, like, I feel for the story that's given to us, I don't believe, like, he comes off as, yeah, a little pompous, but I can't completely get behind your total hate for this character.
Okay.
I feel like I would be a person that if, like, I mean, I've already said it, but I can get behind his cause to, like, fucking have some peace and quiet and all this shit, especially because they give examples like, I'm putting down my 1-year-old colicky baby at 1 a.m. and I've had no sleep, and then right as I have her down, a fucking car alarm goes off and fucking wakes her up, and now I'm up again to try to get this baby to sleep. And so I can see his total frustration with it. let me go back to the threesome, because this is the one thing that I was like, did Tim Robbins write this movie? No, it was this fucking other dude. But so I feel like halfway through this movie, it should have been over. Also,
yeah,
because it kind of plays it. It jumps through time a little bit. Where somebody finds out right near the beginning that he's the guy doing this, and then it kind of jumps back in time to show where it led up to, and then it goes forward to talk a little bit more, and then kind of jumps around, and then it stops doing that about halfway through the movie, and then kind of continues forward.
Yeah,
but I felt like everything after that was less interesting. Until it got to where they're actually trying to solve it by doing this proposition for this thing, but that doesn't happen till the third act.
Yeah,
really, and it's the whole second act that I'm just not really into. And it's this point where they're trying to start this petition to make car alarms a thing of the past or whatever, because nobody cares about them.
Yeah.
But it's this point where people start getting horny for Tim Robbins, and I'm just I don't understand this at all.
Yeah.
This is not a real thing.
Yeah.
This just is just input some unnecessary sexual chemistry between somebody else in the movie.
The one Russian chick that is so about interviewing him and trying to figure out what he is and stuff.
Yeah.
I was almost into her when they showed that she worked at this place that he vandalized, where I was oh shit, she's trying to work from the inside to really fucking take him down and fuck him over.
Right.
But it just turned out she just wanted to fuck him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then they do some shit where they make her say some really dumb fucking shit. They're they do some shit where she was why are you vandalizing? And then he's well, the question isn't why am I doing it? The question is, why are people putting up with it? And then she's well, because people are sheep, and they would just walk to the slaughter if they were deemed to do so. And it's maybe people just don't fucking care. Can you think of that? Can you think of that fucking shit?
Yeah.
That people are willing to live their lives and just put up with the idea that, okay, car alarms go off every once in a while. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
But the fact that this guy's making such a big fucking deal about it, now we all have to fucking care.
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense. Maybe people are just it's a thing that happens. I live in New York City. This happens every once in a while. Okay. I'll put up because I live here, I'll put up with it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But then she's no, people are sheep. They just put up with it because they can't think for themselves. Maybe you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Maybe
you're trying to fucking categorize people as we bend over and take it, blah 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 blah. No, it's stupid. It's just everyone in this movie they bend over backwards to try and make Tim Robbins actions seem noble and justified, but they sound like fucking idiots throughout.
I don't know. I guess where you're coming from, I can see them getting behind his cause or whatever. But the only thing that it takes me out of the movie is them being horny for them. Otherwise, I don't really care. I guess you would see it that way, but I necessarily don't, because we're coming at it from two different directions. But the one scene that I thought was way out of place is that threesome scene.
Yeah.
Where it takes place after the threesome. It jump cuts to afterwards.
Yeah.
Where the two girls, the one Russian chick and a friend.
Yeah.
Along with Tim Robbins, have a threesome, but it's they do a scene where they're look at my pussy and look how good it looks, or something like that. And then the other one is mine doesn't look as good, and blah 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 blah, and they go on about a whole conversation. It's kind of it goes nowhere. But the one thing I want to applaud it on is the blocking of that pillow. Blocks everything from that chick. She's completely nude.
Yeah. And
you'd see almost nothing.
You see her tits for a little bit.
You see one for just a second or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was that is excellent blocking for that shot because it looks natural, but like that pillow was blocking everything, and usually I'm just like, just show it. Yeah. But like I was impressed with the blocking of that pillow, where it covered up all the naughty bits. I was like, that was impressive.
Troy giving out kudos for the vagina blocking in this film.
I thought it was pretty. If it was all chance, that was pretty great. But like otherwise, I was like, whatever, whatever. It was an odd scene.
Yeah. This movie. It's like,
you know what? Movie, fuck me, right? Fuck me for trying to like throw something in that I've seen. Something I think would be an interesting topic.
I appreciate
I'm a fucking idiot, right?
I appreciate you giving. Like, I love like taking in like films that people suggest to me, because then I'm thrown off. Then I have to like try and piece together what I think of it like off the fly. Mm-hmm. Granted, I fucking hated this one, but I appreciate that you brought it to my attention. Like I still like that you brought it to my attention. Granted, I fucking hated it, and I thought it was stupid as fuck. But they even like they do through fucking scenes in this where like they just like throw out random lines, and then they just take these long pauses where it's like, think about it, isn't this fucking deep? Where like they have this scene where Tim Robbins is sitting at a bench with his daughter, and then this siren goes off, and then it looks like every fucking sound that goes off like makes him fucking in pain. Mm-hmm. Like every time like something happens, he's like, oh god, like fuck you, dude. But so the siren goes off, and then his daughter goes in this diatribe where she's says, hey, Dad, do you think they call them sirens because of the mermaids in the Odyssey? That we all are just drawn to these noises? And then there's just this long pause where, like, the writer's just like, huh? Get it? Ain't I fucking deep? I figured this out. I'm so fucking smart that I figured this out.
Yeah.
I made this fucking 6-year-old girl say this.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm so fucking smart. No, it's dumb because he doesn't even try and like make like some kind of distinction towards it. He just has her say it, and there's this long pause, and then it's like everyone's just like, that was such a smart thing. I wonder who thought of that. I bet whoever thought of that was really fucking smart and cool and has threesomes.
Looks at women's pussies all the time.
Oh,
just can't stop looking at them.
And then, well, okay, so we've talked so much about this. What about William Hurt's character in this?
I couldn't get behind his character at all, really, in this. Like, he was...
I felt... Go ahead.
He seemed to be straight up evil in this.
Yeah.
To make Tim Robbins even more likable, to get behind somebody so shitty.
I felt like Tim Robbins was such a pompous dickhead fuck that the only way they could make a villain for him is that if they literally took William Hurt and caked him in so much makeup and like fucking dyed his hair to where you look like a fucking mannequin, where you're just like, okay, if I just saw that guy walking on the street, I'd want to fucking shoot him in the face.
Uh-huh.
That's the only way they could make a villain for Tim Robbins, because Tim Robbins is an irredeemable cocksucking fuck.
Whoa.
Well, not cocksucking. I'm not going to say cocksucking.
You already said it.
God damn it. I'm going to edit it out. But no, like, Tim Robbins is such a bitch in this that the only way they could make a villain for him is if they just made someone who is just gross in how bad he is.
Yeah. And I totally got that while watching it too. It's like you needed somebody so fucking just fucking evil and dumb.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Even his motivations make no sense. Why is he so against this fucking like
I don't know. Like
alarm
how did he
thing.
get elected mayor if he's such a fucking prick?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it was questionable on like why he was so bad.
Yeah, his motivations make no sense. His motivations are steered towards to make Tim Robbins look better in this.
Yes.
That's the only reason he exists.
Yep.
And then, so the whole plot at the end. Mm-hmm. Ugh.
Are you talking about the courtroom scene?
Well, before the thing that leads to the courtroom scene.
Okay.
So, Tim Robbins... So, William Hurt finds a way to kibosh Tim Robbins' bill to abolish car alarms and shit. Which, when he's even doing that, he was like, I want to put in backup beepers, too. Where it's like, you fucking need backup beepers.
Yeah.
Like, that's because truck drivers can't completely see behind them.
Right.
That's why they have backup beepers. Yeah. But then he's like,
no,
we gotta get rid of them. They're too annoying. They save people's lives, fuckhead.
Yeah. Just working around, like, semi-trucks and stuff, like, I thought that was pretty out of line.
Yeah.
Even garbage trucks.
But it's I can't read my book. I would rather people get ran over and murdered by trucks so I can read my fucking book.
Yeah. There are plenty of fixes that even are brought up in this movie that he could do, but rather he just would rather vandalize cars.
Yeah.
Like, even his wife is just like, you could put in earplugs.
Yeah.
You could play soothing music around your house.
Yeah. But no. He doesn't do any of that.
He's completely obsessed with the
He's obsessed with vandalizing cars, but he's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's so deep. He's so smart.
He's the rectifier. Which is, I think, a pretty bad name also.
It's an awful name. So his way of redeeming himself after his bill gets kiboshed is that he buys a truck and has every single car alarm he could fit into it put into it.
Yeah.
Parks outside the mayor's office and then makes it go off to a ear-numbing extent where people can't even talk.
Right.
But then he's like, I'm proving my point. These are annoying. You can't even talk. I'm proving my point right now.
Yeah.
That is like the same extent to, like, in a war, if someone dropped bombs, like small bombs, like small placed bombs in places to just, like, eradicate people, but then someone dropped an A bomb and they're like, same thing. Nuclear bomb, same thing. It's not the fucking same thing. You're drawing it out to an extent where you're actually, like, disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
Car alarms, they don't help, but what you're doing is, like, destroying the peace. And then you're like, same thing. Yeah. It's like someone doing the fucking windmill, like, oh, I'm just swinging my arms and walking towards you. If I hit you, it's not my fault.
Right.
Like, it's a pompous fucking move, and then he uses that to be like, have a court case where it's pretty much like he's rigged it because he's the plaintiff when he's actually the defendant. Yeah. And then never has any kind of argument against his case. It's just him being like, yeah, isn't sound an assault? And then the guy, if he says no, he's going to be fucking sued. So he's like, yeah, I guess it is an assault. And then he's like, I rest my case. It's like, motherfucker, you didn't prove a goddamn thing.
Well, okay, so his case was, so, like, when he went off and, like, blared all of his custom air horns outside of the mayor's office, there's a guy that walked by that's like, I will not stand for this, and it turns out he was a judge or whatever.
Yeah.
That point is like, kind of irrelevant, and it doesn't really matter. But he goes fucking ape shit because of all these horns that's blasting off outside the mayor's office.
Yeah.
So he takes him to court, blah, 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 blah. And, like, Tim Robbins is defending himself against this judge. But, like, at one point, Tim Robbins, in order to win his, like, almost past cases against it, makes this judge agree that, like, all of these sounds are egregious to the public. And so, in order to win morally for himself, he loses the case, but, like, just to prove his point. So it is kind of even pompous at the end.
Yeah.
Where that's the whole thing. So, like, he feels, but in order to get back with his wife and daughter, he has to like win this morally for himself, and so he does, and gets back with his wife at the end. It's all kind of wrapped up in like 2 minutes or whatever, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then like ends up leaving, and then the lady was like, "Hey, you want to blow up this bridge?" And he's like, "No," and then like goes on in the end. But I thought I didn't hate that as like an ending. If he's just wanting to achieve this whole moral victory at the end, I was like, it's like fine, like I don't care.
But it's a victory in the terms of he's completely rigged the whole situation.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be the plaintiff in the situation.
No, he's the defendant.
No, the defendant is the judge, because the judge is the one that vandalized his car.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So he's the plaintiff, and then he fucking keeps arguing in favor of the defendant.
Yeah.
So there's no one arguing the case that this was wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And, okay, so this judge did this. Did this judge do this to a regular car alarm?
Well,
no, he did it to a fucked up, like, jacked up car alarm that is a nuisance that this guy created to prove his point, but the point does not make any fucking sense if he's jacking it up to like 1,000.
True, but like if Tim Robbins can make the point, if like loud noises are egregious to like the public, then he can pass that off as like, that's a win for me.
Yeah, okay, so one person thinks this one thing is loud.
That is a judge. So I guess that is pretty important.
Okay, so if one person in an office building thinks that, like, jacking a volume up to 3 is too loud, so his way of proving that point is jacking the volume up to 10 and saying, isn't this annoying?
I don't know, take it up with the judge, man.
That's the point that he makes, though. It's like, okay, what's the difference between an annoyance and something that blows your fucking eardrums out? That's his whole fucking point. It makes no fucking sense. Then you can argue that any sound is annoying and that every sound should be abolished. That's his argument.
Sure.
So nothing should make noise. No, not one thing in the city of New York should make a fucking noise. That's his argument, because it's an assault on you.
Right, it needs to shut the fuck up, Joel. You don't understand what this guy has gone through.
This movie
turmoil
is so fucking stupid. I shuffled through so many reviews for this on IMDb where people are like, being like, it's so, like, I mean, it's an unconventional topic, but it's so deep. It makes so much sense. And
I don't think it's deep.
You are fucking stupid. The people that put these fucking IMDb reviews up are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Because it is not deep. It's some fucking idiot that wants to justify a stupid thing he did where he vandalized a car because his car alarm went off.
Yeah.
By making all these characters in this movie that he wrote and directed justify what he did.
Yeah.
So he can feel good about himself and also have a threesome with hot chicks.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking movie. It's a fucking masturbatory piece of shit film, and I fucking hate it.
I do feel like it is masturbatory, but I don't think that it's I don't even know like a good word. Like I don't think it's bad, but I do think the guy is jerking off to himself. But I could get behind whatever they were setting up in this movie. Like I got behind Tim Robbins' character.
No, I couldn't. I fucking hated Tim Robbins in this whole movie. I thought he was annoying, and I just couldn't stand him.
You know what Tim Robbins, like, this is kind of like off, like on tangent, but like Tim Robbins is like known as like a pretty like esteemed actor.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've hardly seen any movies of his.
I like Tim Robbins and stuff. I've seen him in things I like.
I've seen him in Shawshank, and I've seen him in this. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. That's it. Like, what else is he in?
Like,
is this an IMDb-er?
This might be an IMDb-er.
IMDb it right now. And it's getting so late at night, too.
I know, it's getting there.
We've said so many.
Oh, so many.
Tim Robbins, I got him pulled up.
Mystic River.
I've never seen Mystic River.
Oh, Bull Durham. He's good in Bull Durham.
Never seen that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen any of these. Let's see. Oh, he was in some Portlandia.
He was in Green Lantern.
Oh, I saw Green Lantern.
I think he was Hector Hammond's dad.
Yeah.
In Green Lantern.
I guess I saw that. He's not like a main part in it. So I saw Noise. He's in Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny. Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
No,
it's Noise is awful.
Anchorman. Well, he's in a small part.
No, Noise is awful. Don't see it. It's. I want to hear. Like, I think pretty much everyone knows my final grade. You just want me to give it?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
It's a fucking F. This movie fucking sucks. It's so bad. It's pretty much watching a guy talk about how fucking smart he is when in actuality he's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
He's in Howard the Duck. Do you know that?
Isn't he like that scientist guy in Howard the Duck?
Maybe he is. But like I haven't seen him in all these like big parts that I guess he's like well renowned for.
But no, in Noise, it's awful. You're literally watching a guy justifying the idiotic fucking thoughts that he has through characters being like, "You're right. You're so smart.
Yeah.
I get you." And no, I can't stand that shit. I can't fucking stand watching someone like fucking like manipulating an like it's not even like an environment that makes sense. He's manipulating what people think so that they can tell him he's right in a fucking film, and I can't stand that shit. I can see it from a mile away, and it like makes my blood boil watching that shit. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate this movie.
Oh, my grade is very different. Even though I do agree with some of your points, and I do believe that this was made to like justify the writer and director's fucking point of view.
Yeah.
I could get behind it. I just went along for the ride. But I'd probably give it like, I don't know, a B minus.
Oh my god.
Teetering on like a C plus.
Oh my god.
Like, I thought it was fine. It's like 90 minutes long. I could get behind like a cause of like him just like wanting to fucking have some peace with his life. Like,
by vandalizing and ruining people's lives?
Yeah. I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. Like I didn't find anything so like horrible that I was just like, that is just nasty. The only parts that I didn't really necessarily like was kind of like parts of the second act where like people are like jerking off to Tim Robbins or whatever in it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, let's have a threesome and check out my puss. Like, I was just like, that's kind of far-fetched, because look at him.
I want to see someone vandalize
He even had like a hot wife.
Yeah. And then his hot wife that like takes him back after he's told her that he's like fucked all these hot chicks, and she's like, well, I want you to come back. I realized that what you did was smart. I love you. Like, no,
yeah.
Oh my god, I fucking hate this so much.
I
want to see someone vandalize your car, and then you're just like, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Listen, I would be all for somebody vandalizing my car right now because I want to trade that bitch in so bad.
I know. But if someone like destroyed some of your private property that you actually want to maintain because of something out of your control, but then they vandalized
like a car
it.
Alarm is in my control.
Well, not if it's like out of your like if you're not even in the vicinity of it after it goes off. This motherfucker goes and like vandalizes cars when it's like people might not even be in the vicinity of the car while it's going off.
First of all, JT, let me give you this fact right now. My car does not have a car alarm. My car does not have electric windows. My car doesn't fucking have a lot of things. My car barely has a front bumper because I hit 2 raccoons that fucked my bumper up real bad.
Yeah.
What I want to happen real bad is to somebody come in and smash in all my windows and fuck up my car real bad so I can claim the insurance on it.
The rectifier won't do it if you don't have a car alarm. If you put a car alarm in it first, and then he'll do it.
I'll just lay under my car and blow an air horn.
Yeah, this movie fucking sucks, though.
Well, JT...
I appreciate the pick, though. I want you to suggest more movies, Troy.
All right.
Even though I hate them, I feel like if I hate them, I still want you to suggest more, because I am always interested by other people's suggestions.
There's not a whole lot that I've seen and you haven't either. So that's a small window of things right here.
I know. Like, I was very intrigued when you sent me this.
And I don't know why I even thought of it. For whatever reason, one small thing in falling down made me think of like, oh, that's kind of like in Noise. And I'm like, I don't know why my brain went there, but like that's the only... This show would have been the only reason I would even bring this fucking movie up to anyone ever.
That's why we do this.
I guess it is. I don't know. But if people want to make suggestions of movies to you, JT, where can they do
I will always take them at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter, also Bucky for Everyone on Instagram, and hey, why not Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat? Troy.
You can find me at Troy to the Max. Don't give me movie suggestions there. Give them to JT. And you can do so at Review Pod on Twitter as well. You can find all of our shows uploaded onto Facebook if you're a Facebook aficionado. We're also on reviewpod.podbean.com, as well as other platforms such as Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're on iTunes, Beb. So if you're on iTunes, why don't you give us a rate and review? Because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show. If you want to write in, such as many of you should, you can do so at Gmail at reviewpod@gmail.com. That's the show.
Yes. This Thursday, we are...
I feel like at this point you've hit a level of drunkenness that you're like, put me to bed.
Yeah. I am just totally wiped from thinking back to this horrible fucking movie.
Right. If people haven't caught on yet, the episodes that we don't just do like a revisit on, we film right after our last show on Thursday. Like a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, so we're at least 3 beers or 4 beers deep by the time we do this episode.
Yeah. So we've already done a whole podcast.
Yeah.
Had a mini pee break and then come back and do this show.
Yeah.
Where we
Still
have another
drinking.
beer.
Yeah. We probably have 2 beers during this episode too, which
it makes them pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Colorful, some would say.
Yeah. Sometimes makes me slip the word cocksucker when I'm trying to insult somebody when I don't mean it.
But that's all fun and games.
Yeah. But no, join us for our show on late Wednesday, early Thursday this coming week when we do the film Overlord.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun time, hopefully. I've heard good things about it.
I heard good things. I haven't heard anything, so I'm up for a fun time.
Good.
Great.
Good.
Overlord this Thursday. Do you know what's coming up Monday yet? The next following week?
I got some ideas. I'll pitch them to you. We'll let you know for sure on
Thursday.
On Thursday.
Got it. So, until Thursday, I suppose I should just sign off and say I'm Troy to the Max.
And I'm JD3K.
Well,